Alright, so if you want to save some coin on some makeup, raise your hand. I know I always do. Alright, so that's exactly what we're going to do today. So if you like some looks for less without breaking the bank, give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. Hey everyone, Anissa here. I'm here with a review for the Aura palette by Bad Habit that is exclusively sold on Shop Hush. Like, I could not get that out. That's kind of embarrassing. Like, okay, so this here is the palette itself. It's like a nice reinforced kind of cardboard structure, metal closure, has a mirror and all, and then you have your shades. The unit carton looks just like the outside exterior packaging of the palette, so there you go. And then on back of these will have the ingredients. It looks like there's two different formulations, one for your metallics and a different one that they use for the mattes, but they break down also the shades that pertain to the specific formula as well. So this is the palette open. You have 14 shades total, 7 mattes and 7 metallics. They're arranged in different arrangement than the ABH Prism palette, but if you look at them, I will try to find a picture to insert. You can see they are pretty darn similar. I don't own any of these recent high-end palettes. Like, personally, I don't feel like spending a coin on it. Like, right now it's Christmas time. I'd rather spend that money towards presents for like my friends and my family, like not towards, like, for instance, Huda Beauty, like their palette is $65 or $42 for the Prism palette. This here I paid $12 for. Now, I did have a mega haul of these palettes, some of them that have increased in prices, but they're still insanely affordable. I know some of their more, it seems like their more mainstream palettes have gone to $12 versus the $10 that they originally were on Hush for. But again, like I said, this is like literally just a fraction of the price of the higher end ones. We're going to go ahead and jump into the demonstration of this look that I'm sporting on my eyes with this. I don't want to delay that so you can see the product in action, and then afterwards we will do swatches. Okay, so I used this NYX eyeshadow base to start with this look. I just did it all over the lid and blended it out with my finger, what I always do, so we'll skip the demonstration of details. So for the first part of this look, we're going to pick up Haze right here. I'm using my Morphe M441 fluffy brush. We're going to use that to neutralize the transition area. I just always, for some reason, I like a very rich transition area, and I find this step helps out a lot. So that can start adding some of that color to help with everything. You just work it, windshield wiper, nothing too major there. So next we're going to pick up this color Mystique right here. I'm falling in love with it. It's like so pretty, and I'm just like pouncing my brush in it, and that's the pickup of it. And I do dab off a little bit extra just to help with that. So what we're going to do is just run that across that transition area as well, just to build up the intensity of it a little more. So now we're going to pick up the color Vibe and start defining the outer corner of this eye look. So here's the pick up of Vibe, and then tapping off some excess. And this you're just going to pack into the corner. So you're just literally buffering it in with little like dabs into it. So just like dab, dab, and dab. And then you can just slightly etch it into the crease. And here I'm just blending it off with excess product from Mystique just to buffer out that color Vibe a little more. Next, we're going to get ready to prep the cut crease. I'm just going to be using my NYX eyeshadow base. It's in just the skin tone color. You could, of course, use a concealer, but just use like a synthetic brush to help you out. This one will literally pick up like this, and then you can just apply on the base for your cut crease. So I'm going to define the crease right here. this is how the base looks, and then I'll just use my finger to kind of blend down this outside corner, like so. So now we're going to pick up this color Ecstasy right here. It is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And I'm just using my Morphe M167 shader brush. Just super flat and easy. And again, I'll show you the pickup of this, but it's just literally the fact of you're tapping your brush into it and it comes up. That is the pickup of the product. And then I'm just packing this color on. It's so rich. And then I'm going back in and following that cut crease. You guys, to get this intensity, I did not have to double dip. I just want to state that. So just really good, thorough application of the product because the consistency is really nice. So we're now going to pick up this color right here, Ethereal. It's so pretty. It's just like so, it's like a moody shade, but I like it. Like, that's it on the back of the finger. Oh. And then I'm going to layer the color over it and into the inner corner highlight Phenomenon, which is another really pretty shade. And they're just like so unique, and that's like what drew me to this palette. And these are these two colors swatched. So these are those two colors on the back of the hand here. They have a slight shift to them. I'm going to blend it down just with my finger so you can see how they go, because they're going to be layered to add some shifts to the overall eye look. Oh my gosh. How pretty is that? And that's that one blended down. So together they're going to kind of give it a really cool shift on top of the, like that green in the inner corner. You can just use another flat shader brush, and then we're going to go first in with Ethereal right here. Total mermaid vibes. So now I just picked up the Phenomenon color with my Morphe E36 just to diffuse over in the inner corner highlight. I'm going to go ahead and take that residual bit of Phenomenon and go ahead and get it into that brow bone area. So I'm going to go back in with Vibe and then also Immortal just on the lower lash line to define it out just really quick. I always try to marry that color with whatever I use to define my crease unless I want it to be like a dramatic pop. And I just use smudge brushes and liner brushes to do the bottom lash line. I also like to slightly diffuse out that crease. So as you can see, this one has a slight softness to it even though it's cut. It's just like my preference. I like cut creases, just not anything too harsh. That's just kind of like my whole gig when it comes to makeup. If you want to leave it super sharp, absolutely you can. This is just me. I'm going to grab my Morphe E17 brush and just stipple in Immortal on this outer V as well, just to deepen it a bit. If it gets a little messy, don't worry, we will be cleaning this up shortly. Then I'll go back in over that with Vibe just to diffuse it out a little more. So now we're going to pick up this color Dream State really quick with just like a basic blending brush and use that to kind of marry in that highlight to your transition. I like this because it's not like a too washed out matte highlight. Like it has some depth to it. Just gonna go back in a little bit with that highlighter shade. If you felt like you've lost intensity, don't worry. You can go right back in with some of your warmer shades and warm that area back up. Like so. Okay, now that we've banged out this eye look, let's take a quick look at these swatches. This is the shades here on my arm, and this is it, the same layout in the palette. I did notice this color here, Energy, like this little neon, but had a little bit of trouble picking up just with the first swatch. I've only gone over these with just one finger swatch, so I'm gonna build up the intensity really quick for this and try to work that out. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I may use that just like as like an accent to like a transition color. Maybe if I was just doing something fun and vibrant. I'm not sure how else I would use this shade. This is like the one that is so pretty in the palette. I'm like, I don't know what I would do with it, you know? So if y'all have ideas, let a girl know. So just one time for the one time here, these are the swatches on my arm. So you see like all those metallics have a really nice sheen and finish. And they really translate pretty well from palette to swatches of just looking as they are. So it's almost a what you see is exactly what you get. So what I was really excited about when I was using this palette, and I hope you can tell in that demo, is that it was very easy one time of taking my brush to the pan and applying to my lid without having to keep re-dip and re-go, and like it was effortless. And there were times maybe I just went back and built up the intensity a little bit more, maybe after blending down for colors like Mystique, because I really wanted that little bit of warmth to pop out a little more, and things like Vibe to just mute down Immortal a little more too. But other than to build up the intensity of a color, let's say like Ecstasy, which is one of the metallics, I did not have to go in and reapply. So great with that formula. Like, and I've worn these shadows before, like just different ones from the brand, and I can wear them comfortably all day. So just in general, comfortable formula, great blendability, and just what you see is literally what you get, which I really like. The only con of this palette compared to something like the Prism palette from ABH is just accessibility. You can exclusively buy it through Shop Hush. You do have to have the app in order to do so. My experience is ordering as a customer, not receiving any PR, has been minimum fuss. Now with the Athena palette, there was a glitch on it, and it was like I kept trying to add it to my cart and everything, and then buy it, and it said like a error of like failed to escrow. But that was really it with the Athena palette. Ordering this one was simply a breeze. People are catching on to these palettes into Shop Hush, so they create a lot of demand for themselves. So what I personally do to stay up to date on it, I do have the app and it does send me alerts, but also I did click for notifications for their post on Instagram because they always update it. Like, they're very consistent about posting when they will be doing like a release and XYZ. So those are my tips for you. So ultimately, who is this palette for? If you're trying to step out of like your normal collection of like neutral palettes, this is a great little addition because you have some really fun pops of color within it, and you can still have some nice neutrals, so you can easily do your looks with just one palette. So this palette would be beginner friendly because I just think the ease of application would not make it challenging for someone just getting into makeup. This makeup palette is also for someone who wants to save coin. Like, who wants to save coin on makeup? Me. This girl. So if you really like the look of some of these mega palettes that are promoted on Instagram, you see all your beauty influencers getting them, and sometimes for the free. Don't even worry, girl, save that coin and just grab something like this. They have a lot of nice dupes for palettes from Bad Habit that are sold on Hush. I will also post my favorite ones that I've used so far down below. So that brings us to the end of our makeup journey for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out Shop Hush. I'll leave all the info down below. And then subscribe to my channel so you're a part of my tribe. Like, I'm welcoming you with literally like open arms. I will catch you all in my next video. In the meantime, catch up with me on social media. I will catch you in my next video.